Good morning, myself Dhruv Jha. Today our topic is respiration in plants and animals. First of all, we are talking about why living forms breathe. First of all, a car need energy to run. We fill petrol in the car. So the petrol burns and uses oxygen from the air and gives energy to the car to run. So similarly, the food reacts with oxygen of the air and is oxidized to carbon dioxide. Energy is released during oxidation of food. So we can say that every cell needs energy and hence needs food and oxygen. So the process of taking oxygen into the cell, oxidation of food with this oxygen and release of carbon dioxide, the energy is called respiration. Respiration is a biochemical process. It involves number one, intake of oxygen from the environment. Number two, oxidation of food, that means glucose, with the help of oxygen taking. Third is release of energy and carbon dioxide. Fourth is elimination of carbon dioxide. Therefore, we respire to get energy. First of all, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, it is breakdown of glucose into carbon dioxide and water is the presence of oxygen inside the body cells. Organisms that use oxygen for respiration are called aerobes. So majority of animals and plants have aerobic respiration. After that we are talking about anaerobic respiration. When glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen, so it is called anaerobic respiration. We can say that these animal and plants that can survive and obtain energy even in the absence of oxygen are called anaerobes. So anaerobic respiration occurs in yeast, some bacteria and parasitic flatworms. So in the absence of oxygen, glucose breaks down incompletely into ethyl, alcohol and carbon dioxide. So therefore, very small amount of energy is released. So the anaerobic breakdown of sugars into alcohol is called fermentation. So during various muscular activities like fast running, brisk walking or heavy exercise, more energy is needed. So therefore demand for oxygen also increases, but oxygen supply to the muscles remains unchanged. Under shortage of oxygen, skeletal muscles respire anaerobically and glucose breaks down to lactic acid, releasing energy. So accumulation of lactic acid in muscles causes muscle cramps or fatigue. We get relief from cramps after a hot bath or gentle massage with lukewarm oil, because this increases blood circulation and consequently the oxygen supply to the muscle. So this causes complete oxidation of lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water. Now we are talking about respiration in humans. Respiratory organs in humans. Lungs are the main respiratory system organs. So they are connected with the external air through nose, nasal passage, pharynx, trachea, bronchi or bronchioles. So nose and nasal passages. We breathe air through nose or nostrils. So the nostrils open into nasal passage. So in the nasal passages, air is filtered, warmed and moisturized before entering the lungs. So after that, trachea or windpipe. So the air from nasal passage also passes reach the lung through trachea. So it is divided into two, bronchi which enters the respective lungs inside the lungs, and bronchi divided and redivide into bronchioles. So with further divide and finally end into air sacs or alveoli. So lungs are a pair of spongy, highly elastic and bag-like structure. So they are enclosed in the all-right thoracic cavity, which is formed of backbone, ribs and sternum. So a large muscular diaphragm forms the floor of thoracic cavity and separates it from the abdominal cavity. So lungs have numerous thin wall and tiny air sacs called alveoli. So the surface of alveoli is covered. Alveoli is covered with fine network of blood capillary. When we breathe in, these alveoli gets filled with fresh air. Oxygen from this air enters the blood capillaries, and carbon dioxide from blood comes out the air. Now we are talking about process of respiration. So the process of respiration occurs, number one, taking air in and expelling from the lungs, that is called breathing. Second is exchange of gases between the air and the blood in the lungs, that is called external respiration. Number three, exchange of gases between the blood and body cell, that is called internal respiration. And after that, formally, breakdown of glucose inside the body cells, that is called cellular respiration or cell respiration. Now we are talking about breathing in humans. So the process of taking in fresh air for getting oxygen and giving out used air rich in carbon dioxide is called breathing. So we can say that it is a physical or mechanical process, or it is the process of pumping air into and out of the lungs. Now we are talking about mechanism of breathing. Breathing involves taking of air rich in oxygen into the lungs and gives out of carbon dioxide from the lung. So taking in of air rich in oxygen into the lungs is called inhalation of inspiration, while giving out rich in a carbon dioxide is known exhale or exhalation. So the rib muscles and muscles and outwards by the contraction of rib muscles and the diaphragm moves down. So this is called flatulence. Now the volume of thoracic cavity and lungs increases and the air pressure inside the lungs decreases. So air from the atmosphere having higher pressure rushes into lungs through nostrils, and air passes and the lungs get filled with fresh air. Now during exhalation, this is called during inhalation. Now we are talking during exhalation. So the ribs move downward and inward and the diaphragm moves up. Rib and diaphragm return to their original position. So the volume of thoracic cavity and lungs decreases and the air pressure inside lungs increases. So all from the lungs is pushed out through air, passage and nostrils. So what we inhale and exhale. So we inhale and exhale air, but the composition of air, inhale and air exhale is different. The air inhaled has more oxygen and less carbon dioxide, while the percentage of oxygen is less and that of carbon dioxide is more in the air we exhale. So we can say that or differentiate between inhale air and exhale air. Inhale air, there are 21% oxygen and 0.03% carbon dioxide. But in exhale, oxygen is 16.4% and carbon dioxide is 4.4%. Now we are talking about breathing rate. So inhalation and exhalation occur continuously and alternately. Our breath means one inhalation and one exhalation. So the number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as breathing rate. So normally we breathe 16 to 18 times per minute. So breathing rate increases up to 25 times per minute during fast running and heavy exercise. Now we are talking about external respiration. During external respiration, oxygen enters the blood from alveoli and combines, with hemoglobin. So the respiratory pigment in the RBC. So they form a temporary compound called, oxyhemoglobin. So on the other hand, carbon dioxide from the blood enters the alveoli in the lungs. So now we are talking about internal respiration. So on reaching the tissue cells, oxyhemoglobin breaks down to release the trapped oxygen. The released oxygen diffuses into the cells. So on the other hand, carbon dioxide from cells enters the blood. Now the next step is cellular respiration or cell respiration. It is the chemical breakdown of glucose inside the cells. So during cellular respiration, glucose is oxidized and produces carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Now we are talking about respiration in other animals. We have lungs for respiration. Frogs, snakes, crocodiles, birds, and other mammals also possess lungs, but all animals do not have lungs. Animals like earthworms, cockroach, mosquitoes, snail, and fish are without lungs. So their respiratory organs are much different. Now we are talking about respiration in earthworms. Earthworm and leeches breathe only through skin. The skin is moist and slimy, and has numerous blood capillaries. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs between air and blood in the skin. This is called cutaneous respiration. After that, respiration in cockroach and other insects. So that is called tracheal respiration. The respiratory organs in insects are branched air tubes called trachea. So the air tubes from a fine work inside their body and are in contact with the cells. They open on the body. Now they open their body surface. They open their body on surface by spiracles. So the spiracles open and close to allow respiratory gases to move in and out of the air tubes. So oxygen rich air enters the tracheal tubes through spiracles and diffuses into every cell of the body. Now we are talking about respiration in fishes, or that is called aquatic respiration. Fishes and other animals living in water are called aquatic animals. So their respiratory organs are gills. They obtain oxygen dissolved in water when it's passed over the gills. Gills are projections of a skin. So we can say that these are formed of large number of gills, large number of gills, filaments with a network of fine blood capillary. So the oxygen dissolves in water, enters the blood capillaries. Carbon dioxide present in capillary blood is released into water. So in capillary blood is released into water. So the oxygenated blood from capillary taken to heart and pumped to different parts of the body. So and blood from the body tissues, which carbon dioxide is taken to gills for the exchange of respiratory gases. After that, respiration in plants. So respiration in plants. Plants, respire like all other organisms. Each plant cell uses glucose and oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So during daytime, carbon dioxide released by respiration is used for photosynthesis, and oxygen produced during photosynthesis is utilized for respiration. So plants do not take oxygen during day. At night, plants also take oxygen from the atmosphere and gives out carbon dioxide. Plants do not have respiratory organs to obtain oxygen from atmosphere. This is each part of plants can, independently take in oxygen, from the surroundings air and gives out carbon dioxide. So transport of gases in plants taken place by the, process of diffusion only. So different parts of a plant have different methods of obtaining oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. In leaves, the leaves have tiny pores called stomata. So the exchange of gases in leaves occurs through these pores. In stems, young stems have stomata as in leaves. In old woody stems, ventricles develop below the bark for, gaseous suction. In roots or root hair extend into air spaces, present between the soil particles and take up oxygen from there.